Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Devour. Level up every day, countdown to Invincibility. Chapter 51. Zhang Zan looked indifferent. Please pay attention to my statement. Judging from Qin Emu's murder and injury cases alone, 30 years punishment is not too severe. Lin Zhang snorted coldly. Oh, what a joke. It's obviously a case, but you single out the guilty points and don't investigate all the circumstances. In this case, all cases can be judged nonsense. Lin Zhang followed up and asked. In the past, all cases involving warriors were investigated across the board. When did the tribunal learn not to investigate and just make arbitrary decisions? Zhang Zan still wanted to refute. Lu Tian twitched the corner of his mouth slightly and wrote lightly. It's obviously just a small matter. Are we going to keep arguing here until dark? Qin Emu's case is obviously a clue that should be investigated and silenced, and the clues of hackers should be investigated. What do those things have to do with my Tianlu group? Lu Tiantian continued fiercely. Today is a vote. I support the investigation of the case, but this is two different things from Tianlu group. Please vote separately. Zhang Zan echoed. According to our understanding, the black market has never accepted any business that invades cloud data. If you think you can check it more clearly than the Wansheng Alliance, then please do it yourself. Lin Zhang looked at the city lord. If we don't conduct a thorough investigation, I'm afraid even if a warrior is killed in the city, we won't be able to find the murderer or the person behind it. Zhang Hong glanced at everyone. After a moment, he spoke in a deep voice. The first thing is to vote to approve the merger and thorough investigation. What? Lin Zhang and Bai Qingyan almost thought they heard wrongly. Guo Yue stood up directly, with a look of disbelief on his face. Soon, the projection showed the results. Except for Bai Qingyan and Lin Zhang, who did not vote, the others all agreed. Bai Qingyan glanced at Lin Zhang. They had no choice but to nod in agreement. Unanimous vote passed. Zhang Hong continued. The second item is to agree to start a thorough investigation of the Tianlu group and the black market. This time, only Lin Zhang and Bai Qingyan voted the fastest, but there were only 2 followers among the others. Zhang Hong also pressed agree, still less than 7 votes. To pass ordinary motions, at least 7 votes are needed, while for important motions, at least 10 votes are needed. After a while, Zhang Hong's expression did not show any change, and he muttered, insufficient votes, the proposal is rejected. Tianlu Group and Wansheng Alliance only need to cooperate with the investigation. Lu Tian showed such an expression as he should have, and he was not surprised at all. Bai Qingyan frowned and finally said nothing. City Lord, can the temporary meeting end? Lu Tian asked impatiently. Zhang Hong shook his head slightly. I have something else to announce. A dragon's nest was discovered 300 kilometers northwest of Zhangcheng. Dragon's lair. At this moment, everyone looked shocked. City Lord, what level is the dragon nest? Zhang Hong looked solemn. The scale is unknown above the 9th level. Preliminary judgment shows that there are at least 3 super-level ferocious beasts. Above level 9, Bai Qingyan's expression also became extremely solemn. Doesn't that mean there are at least 100 or more 9th level ferocious beasts? Zhang Hong nodded. At least this number is the largest dragon nest that has appeared near Zhangcheng so far. All Grandmaster combat warriors will be under the unified command of the Warrior Alliance. Within 3 days, they will put down all matters in their hands and gather at the XB210 shelter. No problem. Lu Tian surprisingly did not refute. The others also nodded. Drop. End of the meeting. Qin Mu was also shocked by this shocking news. 9th level dragon nest. More than 100 9th level ferocious beasts, and 3 super level ferocious beasts. Are there 100 grandmasters in Zhangcheng? Guo Yue looked ugly. Barely, all the forces put together, barely maybe 100. The focus is on the super level ferocious beasts, the dragon's nest. Dragon. It is definitely the most ferocious, cruel, and difficult to kill among all ferocious beasts. The 9th level ferocious dragon is very difficult to deal with even a mind master like Director Bai. Bai Qingyan also nodded. Qin Mu, I'm afraid we can't investigate your case in detail now. The super dragon beast appears again. The city lord plus the 2 great masters Po Xing and Bai Yi may not be able to handle it properly. Call. Bai Qingyan said softly. Director Guo, Qin Mu will leave it to you. I have to leave. Besides, You heard the news about the 9th level dragon nest by accident, but it cannot be spread to anyone else. Guo Yue nodded. Don't worry, I understand. Bai Qingyan didn't waste a moment after finishing speaking and left as soon as he said it. At this moment, Guo Yue then turned to look at Qin Mu. What happened is a bit unexpected. The curator went out for a long time and did not return. Unexpectedly, he was held back by the dragon's nest. Don't think too much about today's meeting. At this critical moment, Zhongcheng is not suitable for unrest. Qin Mu smiled to show his understanding. Actually, when the city lord mentioned the 9th level dragon nest, Qin Mu knew that Zhongcheng would not pursue the situation of Tianlu Group in the black market. To investigate now would be to harm Zhongcheng. As for the 9th level dragon nest, after it is dealt with, it may be difficult to lift it out for review. In the end, you have to rely on yourself. Qin Mu thought secretly in his heart. That's fine. It's safer for me to handle this guy Lu Zhou myself. Well, Guo Yue was also angry. Tianlu Group, this debt is probably their fault. It's just that it's hard to clear it now. Just wait, when the dragon's nest incident is over, I will definitely find a way to find out what's wrong with Tianlu Group. Guo Yue comforted Qin Mu again. Followed, you will be practicing in the martial arts hall these days. I may be very busy and cannot be distracted. Guo Yue is the supervisor. The city lord did not notify him of such a big matter because it was useless to inform him. A 9th level ferocious beast. With a cultivation level comparable to that of a 9th level grandmaster, even an ordinary grandmaster would not be able to gain the upper hand. Notifying the generals to go over would mean risking death. It's better not to say anything. Grandmaster warrior. It is the existence of this dragon star that silently protects this city. All the privileges of warriors are obtained with blood. After Guo Yue left, the training room became completely quiet. Qin Mu was not in a hurry, contacted his family, told them not to go out, and then started practicing on his own. That night, Guo Yue ran over again. Your case is over. Li Chengguang committed suicide and there is no evidence of bribery. The person who silenced him was Zhang Ji's gang. According to the account number, they dug up hundreds of millions of stolen money. They also paid to hire the hacker. Unfortunately, he is not in Zhongcheng. We can only entrust York City to trace the clues to the hacker. The Alliance took into account that you have just taken the martial arts test and have not learned the martial arts regulations. It is urgent to follow the authority and finally decided not to punish you. At the same time, your SSS contract has been approved. Do you have any comments on the contract? Qin Mu had already decided to handle the matter himself, and of course he didn't say much about the outcome. As expected, as for the contract, if you get money for free, there will be no objections. After Guo Yue finished speaking, he left in a hurry. Qin Mu dialed Ling Qinzu's video with his backhand. Humph! Ling Qinzu's proud cold snort came from the opposite side. Mumu, didn't you say you didn't receive my video? Then how do you have my number? Bot. Qin Mu didn't expect that the other party would still hold a grudge after a few days. Ling Qinzu was so angry that she almost wanted to turn off the video. Does your family sell equipment? Qin Mu didn't intend to beat around the bush and went straight to the point. Certainly. Ling Qinzu crossed her arms and looked like I was still angry. Do you want to buy it? There is no discount. It doesn't matter. Qin Mu wouldn't care about these details. Do you have the kind of combat uniform that doesn't have a camera or positioning device? There are also anonymous connected smart devices, right? Lu Zhou can erase the evidence. Ling Qinzu, who is similar to Tianlu Group, should be able to do it. Tooth for tooth, blood for blood. Qin Mu doesn't know anything else but this sentence. It was impossible to let Lu Zhou go. He will not die. Qin Mu couldn't sleep peacefully. What do you want these for? Ling Ruizu said nervously for the first time. Don't you know, selling and making anonymous equipment is illegal. The corners of Qin Mu's mouth raised slightly. Is it serious if you open a black market without permission? Poof. Ahem. Ling Ruizu was immediately choked and coughed repeatedly. Mu, please don't talk nonsense. I don't know anything about this black village. Pretending to be with me. You have to use your brain a little bit, right? Qin Mu. Stop talking nonsense. If you don't sell it, I will go to the black market. Saying this, he was about to hang up the video. Don't. Upon hearing this, Ling Chinzu immediately blocked the way and asked with a serious look, I heard about your incident at the Ferocious Beast Factory. There should be some problems with Tianlu Group, but if you want these things, don't you plan to investigate them yourself? Quote. Isn't Tianlu Group a competitor of yours? After Qin Mu asked, he didn't intend to listen to her reply and continued. Don't you think you should provide these things for free? Ling Chinzu's pretty face suddenly fell. You, don't be so direct. If it was before, Ling Chinzu may still feel that they are all friends in Zhongcheng. But after returning home from the martial arts test, Ling Chinzu completely understood what happened. She even knew that the Wansheng Alliance had planned to make herself lose money and prohibit others from opening a bank to share the risks. She didn't understand before that these black dealers all paid protection fees behind their backs. Even half of the merchants in the black market pay protection fees, and the other half are directly operated by the Wansheng Alliance under different names. In the business world, there are only interests and no friends. Also in Zhongcheng, Tianlu Group occupies a large number of ferocious beast resource markets, taking away a lot of business from its own family. Not a friend, but an enemy. Lu Zhou was so close to him, maybe he was planning to swallow up the Ling Group. Hateful. When Ling Chinzu heard this, she almost died of anger. What you want is illegal. I definitely don't have it, and the Ling Group doesn't sell it. Ling Chinzu said with great certainty, then changed the subject and said with a sweet smile, but as a classmate, you need me help, I happen to have some damaged equipment and intelligence here, so I will give them to you for free. S level, Qin Mu asked. After hearing this, Ling Chinzu began to roll her eyes. Mumu, you have gone too far. The S-class combat uniform and sword are so eye-catching. If you wear them out, who wouldn't take a second look? I can wear a coat. No, Ling Chinzu clenched her fists and said, S levels are all registered and counted. Only B levels are available, so don't forget it. Okay, let's do it like this. Delivery to your door. I'm in the training room of the martial arts school. After Qin Mu finished speaking, he hung up the communication. Ling Chinzu looked at the blacked out video and was completely furious. Half an hour. Ling Chinzu angrily walked in, knocked on the door, and signaled Qin Mu to turn off the battlesuit and smartphone, and block the monitoring room monitoring. Then he put down the school bag behind him and took out the contents. The wood and everything are clean, but if something happens. Bought on the black market. Qin Mu said, stepping forward to check things. Actually, these could have been on the black market. But when buying things on the black market, others don't know, but the 10,000 Merchants Alliance definitely knows. When something happens, it depends on whether he talks about it or not. Judging from Zhang Zan's attitude in speaking today, there is a high probability that he will not hide anything. Ling's group is the only way to obtain it. Just one point. If the Ling Group does not want Tianlu Group to live a good life, it must be more reliable than the Wansheng Alliance or the black market. You're already here, you won't just bring these things, right? Qin Mu finished the inspection and said, can the location and details of Lu Zhou's daily activities be synchronized to this smartphone at any time? Ling Chinzu was about to ask, but she opened her mouth and pressed it back. Snort. Mu, you have to be careful. Lu Zhou has a 9th level military commander as his bodyguard. Finished. Ling Chinzu opened a piece of information on her smartphone. She got it from her father. Now that Ling Chinzu knows that Tianlu Group is a competitor, there will definitely be an investigation at home. The information is by no means incomplete. The affairs of Tianlu Group are very complicated, and the confidentiality measures are very strong. Ling Chinzu sat down on the sofa and explained everything to Qin Mu one by one. The development history of the Lu family is not too early. 20 years ago, Lu Tian was promoted to Grand Master. Since then, Tianlu Group has developed from a middleman to a company. In the past 20 years, Tianlu Group has covered almost all businesses related to warriors and ferocious beasts. The project with the largest turnover, Ferocious Beast Resources. This aspect is at least twice that of our family, and our family has been engaged in the acquisition of ferocious beasts for a long time. Tianlu Group has an annual turnover of over 1.3 trillion. The proportion of ferocious beast resources exceeds 800 billion. No wonder. It doesn't matter if a small treatment plant throws away billions or tens of billions of products. If we can find out the source of the ferocious beasts in Tianlu, we can pay an additional 1 billion in reward. Ling Qinzu was really prepared when she came this time. After the martial arts exam was over, she was already taking over the family business, and there were many things she didn't know before. Speaking and doing things are obviously different from before. Also, they should have a secret stronghold in Zhangcheng. There may be hackers inside. The source of the hacking technology is unknown. If the stronghold can be found, it is worth 500 million. Qin Mu rolled his eyes in surprise and said, "Have you watched too many TV series? I'm not a detective, how can I check this for you? Clues will be given to you simultaneously. The premise is that Lu Zhou's location must be synchronized with me at any time." Hee. Ling Qinzu stuck out her tongue playfully. "You are a mind master. You can fly. It is easier to check than others. Be careful yourself. My father said that Tianlu Group is ruthless in doing things." Yeah, those are the 4 words. Hee. There is really no need to remind this, Qin Mu understands it deeply. ... After Ling Qinzu finished speaking, she hesitated for a while before leaving, so as not to be noticed that she was specially delivering something. The next 10 days, that smartphone has always been in his bag, and Qin Mu has never seen it. Cultivation is the key. A 9th-level military commander, even with a sneak attack, cannot be killed by ordinary commanders. Midnight. Qin Mu used today's upgrade points. Panel. Qin Mu. Upgrade points. 0. Martial arts cultivation. Apprentice level 9. Mind power cultivation level. Ruler level 9. Warrior skills. 18 styles of bloody fighting. Psychic power technique. Basic mind power level 6 only mind excellent level 7. ... The 9th level of the ruler. Each fully controlled flying blade has a force of 90,000 kilograms. The only thing in my mind is level 7. Fully controlled flying blades, 12 handles. The highest number of command flying blades, 36. Bai Qingyun's technique should be at the level of Xiaocheng, level 3, or level 4. And I'm at level 7 now. Even if she is the commander, she still doesn't have as many flying blades as me. Qin Mu clenched his fists. 12 handles. It happens to be the green flame flying sword, which can explode with the strongest attack. No matter how much telekinesis there is, the flying swords cannot be unified. This is the moment Qin Mu has been waiting for. 12 flying blades exploded with full force. The power of 1.08 million kilograms. Set off. Qin Mu closed Xiaoyi and changed into the S-class battlesuit, but the core inner armor of the S-class battlesuit was still on. At the same time, the 2 billion funds from the SSS contract arrived. Qin Mu didn't let Qian idle either. S-class shield, worth 200 million. Buy it at half price, worth 100 million. Qin Mu purchased 20 S-class shields at one time. This is not about having money and being willful. It is a necessary defensive measure. The combat uniform cannot guarantee that you can withstand the Grandmaster's blow. At the warrior stage, the attack power is 10,000 90,000. At the general stage, the attack power is 100,000 900,000. At the master stage, the attack power is 1 million minus 9 million. This is still the basic power that does not include any increase in skills. Even if you are an entry-level master, a random punch can cause millions of attacks. Qin Mu now relies on the great success technique to barely meet the minimum requirements of a grandmaster. Millions of attacks. Even if he didn't test this punch, Qin Mu knew that his 9th-level apprentice's small body really couldn't handle it. The S-class battlesuit will not be shattered with one punch, but the force of the shock will directly smash your internal organs to pieces. If you are a warrior, of course you can only lament your lack of cultivation and sit back and wait for death. But Nianxi is different. If the battlesuit can't block the shock, wouldn't it be enough to use a shield? What does it have to do with my shield hitting the air? 20 S-class shields, all stacked up, are 1 meter thick. Super alloy shield. Moreover, they can each have their own mental blessings, and match them with certain gaps and angles to weaken the impact force. Even if the Grandmaster takes action, he cannot break through immediately. Krypton gold can indeed make people stronger. The green flame flying sword has an attack power comparable to that of a Grandmaster. 20s class super alloy combination shields. The defensive power is also comparable to that of the Grandmaster. Even if Qin Mu is only at the 9th level of ruler, he can still compete head-on with entry-level Grandmasters. Qin Mu shrunk the shield and put it in his bag, and went straight out. For more than 10 days, Qin Mu didn't pay attention to the news outside. But judging from the fact that Guo Yue has hardly had time to come over recently and Bai Qingyan has no news, the 9th level dragon nest is definitely not someone to be trifled with. Qin Mu now has master level combat power, and he can be considered to have a certain ability to protect himself and his family. When dealing with Lu Zhou, it's all about protection. No one has time to guard against such beastly things every day. Qin Mu was not familiar with the situation in Zhongcheng urban area. But the roads near my home are very familiar. Past. Qin Mu always chose places with surveillance. This time, he directly found a place without surveillance to change into his combat uniform, opened it smartly, and then covered his whole body with a pure black tight-fitting jacket. Under the mask, the projection showed Lu Zhou's location. Wonderland Business Club. After a while. Wonderland Business Club. Entrance. A beautiful woman in a miniskirt stepped forward with a smile. A flashing sign on her chest read, Assistant, Xiao Shi. Master Warrior, do you have a position? No. Then we still have an empty booth in the lobby. Can you think of it? Is there a private room? The smile on Xiao Zai's face suddenly bloomed. There are some. Which private room do you want? There is currently a private room for the Immortal King and a private room for the Holy King. Is there a difference? The private room of the Immortal King has a low price of 1.99 million, and the private room of the Holy King has a low price of 990,000. Damn it, Qin Mu was stunned after hearing this. There is something about this damn consumption level. The minimum spending to open a private room is 1.99 million. That kid Lu Zhou is not short of money, right? The Immortal King. Qin Mu's voice was made with the power of his mind. It was hoarse and heavy, so that no one could tell that the speaker was just a young man. There are 10 million active funds in the smart device, but the source cannot be traced. Qin Mu was not worried about any flaws and followed the beauty in. Qin Mu walked along the way, and every Immortal King's private room was far apart. It's either separated by other private rooms, or it's empty. Full power of mind. Qin Mu's current kung fu cultivation and mental power cultivation are more refined than Bai Qingyan's. As a professional club, the private rooms here are absolutely 100% soundproof. If a bomb is dropped directly inside, the outside world will not know. But no matter how good the materials are, they can't stop the power of thought. Lu Zhou. Qin Mu suddenly narrowed his eyes and looked at the house number from the corner of his eye. Immortal King private room number 2. Ling Qinzu's information is quite accurate. Qin Mu didn't rush to take action and followed the beauty for a while. The entrance to the private room number 3 of the Immortal King. Master Warrior, please come in. Xiao Shi opened the door of the private room and asked with a bright smile, what would you like to drink? The low-cost set meal includes a bottle of Fairy King wine and 2 boxes of Wuling beer. Casual. After Qin Mu found someone, there was no need to talk nonsense. When Xiao Shi heard this, she didn't ask any more questions. Okay, just wait a moment, the princess in the private room will be here soon. Qin Mu found a comfortable seat on the sofa and sat down. Not a moment, 2 beauties in gauze with different moods knocked on the door and came in. Lingxian Wanner, Lingxian Leoner. The 2 of them faced Qin Mu and bowed. Yingying, I have met the Immortal King. Hiss. Major, it's really professional enough. Not to mention ordinary people, even warriors and even masters must shout hello when they come over. The 2 stood up and walked straight towards Qin Mu. Don't. Qin Mu stretched out his hand to stop it. I like that program that charges for my calls. Drop. A big wave of his hand. The consumption of 1 million credit points per person was transferred. This. The 2 girls had seen many big shots in the Immortal King's private room, and they had also seen a few tycoons who would spend millions upon opening their mouths. Thank you Immortal King for the reward. The 2 immediately shouted thank you. Xiaoshan will definitely satisfy the adults. While talking, the gauze slowly recedes. Don't look at me, just play by yourself. Louder. Ah, the two of them were stunned at the same time. Master Immortal King, do you mean that we can play by ourselves? Haven't you played before? Ahem. Warner replied softly, slightly embarrassed. The order of the Immortal King. The rest. There is no need for Chinmu to teach you. The two little girls are still very professional, and all kinds of equipment with complicated auxiliary functions are on display. To be honest, it is indeed more fun than Chinmu imagined. Next door. Lu Zhou drank 2 bottles of Immortal King's jelly, but it didn't last more than a quarter of an hour. In the private room, at most, he could only look at a dozen fairy-level princesses. As for the 2 bodyguards, they were all guarding the door. The windows on the walls of the private room are sealed with alloy and are airtight. Chinmu waited for a moment, knowing that Warner and Leonor were getting better. The flying sword he had prepared under his cloak took advantage of the critical moment for the two of them and disappeared into the ventilation duct in a flash. This club is definitely professional. The various means of defense against the warriors are almost to the extreme. Even the ventilation ducts are equipped with poison gas detection and alarm devices. Pity. You can guard against warriors, but you cannot guard against Nian masters. Anyway, almost everywhere in Zhong City is undefended against master-level mind masters. Even if Chinmu wanted to kill someone in Zhongcheng Martial Arts Hall, no one would notice. The flying sword flashed out from the vent of the ventilation duct, then found its right position, and sank into the wall like the tip of a knife-piercing tofu. Not a moment. Feijian had already arrived at the Immortal King's private room. The sounds and environment in the private room became clearer after Feijian arrived. Even the sound of voices seemed to be in my ears. Didi. Just when Chinmu was about to take action, Lu Zhou's communication suddenly rang. Say, Lu Zhou's voice. Master, there was news just now from the Linshan Road warehouse. There was a boy who wanted to resist, and his voice was a bit loud. Mad. Lu Zhou gritted his teeth and said, what the hell are you doing for food? Do you want me to solve every little thing? This is mainly because the wind has been tight recently, and these people have been suppressing it for a long time. Go away, kill all the troublemakers, and transport them all out tonight. Lu Zhou directly ordered. Do you really think that kid Chinmu has any ability? If he wants to touch our Tianlu group, he means to touch the black market. Just touch the Wansheng alliance. Don't talk about a genius mind master, even a genius master has to be buried in the ground. Yes, I will go over and supervise the matter. Communication hung up. Chinmu frowned and changed his plan temporarily. Feijian turned to the door. A sudden flash. Cold light burst out from the ground. The two generals, 9th level, heard the sound in their ears, but their bodies had not yet reacted. The next second, bang bang, the heads of the two 9th level generals exploded one after another. Millions of attacks. Explode with all your strength. Even if it only penetrates, the entire head will be completely blown to pieces. Still there was no reaction from Lu Zhou or the people in the private room. The next moment, the flying sword passed through the private room and inserted directly into Lu Zhou's heart, directly piercing the heart. Immediately, Feijian froze and trembled at the same time. The trembling of the sword was directly directed to Lu Zhou's ears through his ribs. I'll give you 3 seconds to tell me the location of the warehouse. Who? Lu Zhou shouted loudly, and the next second, his heart felt soaring. When he lowered his head, he saw that a simple flying sword had been inserted into his heart. Wanjianj. Lu Zhou is quite knowledgeable. We have no enmity with Wanjianj, why? I don't need a reason to kill you. If I tell you the location of the warehouse, you have 2 seconds. Chinmu didn't intend to waste words. He showed his flying sword on purpose. As for the warehouse, Ben wasn't in his plan. But the goods in that warehouse seemed to be people, not a ferocious beast. Chinmu couldn't ignore it. At the very least, he had to know what the Tianlu group was doing. The flying sword penetrated inch by inch, and the pain became stronger and stronger. Lu Zhou's forehead was covered with sweat. Don't. The warehouse is on the east side of Linshan Road. To the east of Linshan Road. Isn't that the Tianlu ferocious beast treatment plant? Are you lying? Chinmu was quite familiar with that area and could probably tell where it was. It's the treatment plant. Behind the warehouse of the treatment plant, there is also a private warehouse. Lu Zhou's life was at stake and he didn't dare to talk nonsense. Qin Mu thought about it, and it seemed like a building over there that didn't open during the day. Still have a question. Where are the hackers who hacked your cloud data? Lu Zhou grinned. Wan, what does Wanjianj want to know about this? There's so much nonsense, do you think you still have a long life? Lu Zhou quickly changed his words. No, I really don't know about hackers. They are not handled by me, and I have no access to hackers. As soon as he finished speaking, the flying sword also trembled. Strong angina pectoris exploded in Lu Zhou's heart, and Lu Zhou's entire face couldn't help but become distorted. No. Everything I said is true. I really don't know. Those are all handled by my subordinates. Do I care about this kind of butt-wiping thing? Qin Mu calculated the time and didn't intend to delay it any longer, regardless of whether it was true or false. Last question, why are you targeting Qin Mu? Qin Mu. When Lu Zhou heard the name, he seemed to understand something in his eyes. Qin Mu took refuge in Wanjianj Pavilion. That bastard, I was about to be deceived by Ling Qinzu, but he suddenly came out to delay my Tianlu the group's plan. If he doesn't die, who will die? Haha, you were wrong. Qin Mu did not seek refuge in Wanjiang Pavilion. Impossible, Lu Zhou said firmly. If he doesn't have Wanjianj, why do you send out the Grand Master to kill me? It's simple, because I am Qin Mu. Puff. Lu Zhou spurted out a mouthful of blood instantly, with a look of disbelief in his eyes. You are. The words have not yet finished. Just hear a bang. Lu Zhou's head exploded in midair. XB-201 Shelter. A group of masters faced the direction of the dragon's nest, with solemn expressions and prepared for battle. Inside the shelter, City Lord Zhang Hong is analyzing the dragon nest data obtained by satellites and drones. Lin Zhang, Lu Tian, and Zhao Chengfeng from the Baiyi Martial Arts Hall and other high-level alliance officials were all there. In front of Bai Qingyan, a middle-aged man wearing white practice clothes was clearly standing in the center of several people. Senior Bai, in your opinion, is there any hope of taking this dragon's nest by storm? Zhang Hong turned sideways and asked. Bai Ming has a free and easy figure, and his face looks to be in his 30s at most. If he didn't know his identity, who would have dared to think that this man is the White Sword Sect, who is known as the strongest telegraph master in Dragon Star? With the current configuration, there is basically no chance for a frontal attack. If Wu Poxing is here and I join him, we might be able to give it a try together. Crunch. Zhang Hong frowned, and his palms instantly pressed the table in the shelter out of shape. There is not just one dragon nest, and the one we have here is not the worst. The other two are even more terrifying than the number here. The leader of the alliance wants to suppress the strongest one among them. It is unlikely that he will come here in a short time. Bai Qingyan thought deeply. Grandpa, what if you go to the alliance leader and concentrate your efforts to destroy one first? Lin Zhang shook his head and said, it's impossible. Unless the Grand Master exerts all his strength, there is no chance of breaking through that dragon's nest. If we ignore the strongest one and attack the dragon nest here, we will inevitably watch the super-level ferocious beasts wreak havoc on the Dragon Star. If another accident occurs when we storm the dragon nest here, then the entire Dragon Star may be in danger. A ferocious beast. Be wise. The higher the level, the higher the wisdom. The fierce dragon is even more cunning and extremely cunning. Get out of here. The ferocious dragon can be discovered at any time and come out in full force. Just when everyone was frowning, Lu Tian's communication rang. What did you say? Xiao Zhou is dead. Lu Tian's body shook violently. How is that possible? Where are his bodyguards? ... Suddenly, there was a murderous intent in Lu Tian's eyes. The bodyguard is also dead. His head exploded and he was killed instantly. Follow closely. The live video appeared in front of Lu Tian. After everyone heard this, they also came forward to watch. Seeing the chaos in the private room, Bai Qingyan couldn't help but frown. But the next second, the flying sword flashed out and instantly shattered the heads of the two bodyguards. Green flame flying sword. Grandmaster's combat power. Bai Ming narrowed his eyes slightly, a trace of surprise flashed in his eyes. In an instant, only the White Sword Sect could clearly see Feijian and accurately judge the opponent's combat strength. Follow closely. The flying sword hit Lu Zhou's heart. This time everyone could see clearly that it was indeed the green flame flying sword. Wanjian's pavilion. Lu Tian immediately glared at Shang Bai Qingyan. He didn't have the courage to get angry at Bai Ming, so he could only glare at Bai Qingyan. Lu Zhou seemed very frightened and said a few unclear words into the air. Qin Mu, Wanjian's pavilion. Lu Tian only hears these keywords in his mind now. What else is there to say? Bai Qingyan was surprised. When she heard that Lu Zhou had died, she immediately concluded that it was Qin Mu who did it. But just now my grandfather said that the one who takes action has the strength of a grandmaster. Does Qin Mu have the power of a grandmaster? How can it be? The green flame flying sword is an exclusive product, but it is not a unique weapon. Wanjiang Pavilion also sold it. After Bai Qingyan thought about it clearly, he replied calmly, as for the perpetrator, you just heard about the grandmaster's combat power. All the grandmaster's combat power in Wanjiang Pavilion are in the dragon nest. Next to him, a grandmaster asked. Before Lu Zhou died, he probably had a conversation with the murderer, right? Where's the murderer? Didn't he catch it? Lu Tian shook his head slightly angrily. Bai Ming's eyes were thoughtful, but he didn't speak. Zhang Zan remembered something. Speaking of the green flame sword, didn't Supervisor Bai give one to Qin Mu during the martial arts exam? Qin Mu. Lu Tian's eyes suddenly flashed with a fierce light. I didn't expect that he would actually hold a grudge against the treatment plant case. Just now, Xiao Zhou mentioned the treatment plant and Qin Mu many times. That's right, it's Qin Mu. There are only so many mind masters in Zhongcheng, and there are even fewer holding Qingyan swords. Apart from that Qin Mu, it is impossible for anyone else to commit murder. Puff. Bai Qingyan couldn't help but sneered. Lu Tian, do you think Nian Master is easy to practice? Then how long has it been since Qin Mu was awakened? He only just broke through the ruler during the martial arts test. Only a few days have passed and he has the strength of a grandmaster. Snort. Lu Tian gritted his teeth and glared angrily, and said with a sinister expression, didn't Manager Bai think that Qin Mu was extremely talented before? Why is he now saying that he is not good enough? Bai Qingyan was extremely angry. Bai Ming, who was next to him, just smiled slightly. Haha, it took me a whole year to go from commander to master. And this little guy named Qin Mu, can he be so defiant? Hiss. When everyone heard this, they all opened their mouths to explain. Jian Zong doesn't need to worry about it. This case must be someone else's fault. That's right, that little guy Qin Mu has just been promoted to warrior, and he is still far from being a master in combat power. Damn it, Lu Tian's throat trembled. Even if it's not Qin Mu, it must be someone related to Qin Mu. As long as Qin Mu is caught, we can find out immediately. Oh, when Lin Zhong heard this, a smile suddenly flashed across his lips. I can understand Grandmaster Lu's mood, but with what you just said, do you intend to arrest people and interrogate them without any evidence? What did you say? Isn't this video evidence? Lu Tian roared angrily. As a great master, Lin Zhong couldn't be afraid of him, he just snorted coldly. Li Chengguang is dead, and I said it was Tianlu Group that did it. Can I investigate Tianlu Group now? Suddenly, Lu Tian's face suddenly turned ashen, as if he were an old pickle that had been pickled for 3 years. Okay. Broken Star Martial Arts School also plans to seek revenge, right? Okay, then we will repay injustice with injustice and revenge with hatred. Boom. Zhang Hong struck out with a palm, and the entire shelter was instantly shaken to pieces. Shut up. All the masters were immediately suppressed by Zhang Hong's explosive aura. Except for Lin Zhong, Zhao Chengfeng, and Bai Ming, the 3 great masters looked as usual. The other masters all felt difficulty breathing, and their shoulders weighed more than 1,000 kilograms. The power of the great master. He can actually suppress the Grand Master directly with his aura. The murder case needs to be investigated. No one can take action without evidence before there is evidence. Zhang Hong roared in a deep voice. As for Qin Mu, monitor him immediately and release him after the matter is found out. Now, all Grand Masters are not allowed to enter the city until the Dragon Nest crisis is over. As for Zhongcheng, immediately investigate all the Mind Masters and test their cultivation levels. The city lord ordered. Even though Lu Tian wanted to find Qin Mu now, he had to stay here. At the same time, Zhongcheng, Linjiang Road. Qin Mu found the warehouse Lu Zhou mentioned without any effort. Late at night, this warehouse, which had never seen any movement during the day, was now brightly lit. Qin Mu stepped on the shield, suspended in the air, passed the alarm device from a height of 100 meters, and landed slowly. In my ears, I heard voices from inside the warehouse. Let me go. I won't do this job of carrying bags. If you don't let me go, I will report you to the police. Snapped. A crisp sound of applause sounded. Maid. What's wrong with young people now? When you are young, you have to be sensible. If you are not sensible, I will make you sensible. Did you see that the knife in my hand has not seen red for a long time? If you make another special beat, your head will be moved immediately. ... Do you dare to kill someone? No. If you kill someone, aren't you afraid of being traced by the security team? Several young people said in fear. When Qin Mu heard this, he couldn't help but frown. This voice, Qian Wen. ... Ha ha ha. Killing people. I've killed too many people. You signed an agreement to leave the city. What does it matter if a few people die in the wild? Who do you think you are? Is he a warrior? Even if the warrior dies outside, there will be no sound. At this time, the wall exploded with a loud bang. Qin Mu glanced around the field and quickly found his best friend Qian Wen among the group of young people huddled together. Moment. Qin Mu's eyes burst out with murderous intent. Tianlu group is seeking death. You bastard, who the hell are you? The leader was a bald man with a strong back and a strong waist. A gold necklace as thick as a finger hung around his neck, and in his hand was a broad-bladed sword. Before he finished speaking, the boy next to him immediately turned pale with fright. Boss, look, he seems to be able to fly. Can fly. Read the teacher, Grandmaster. The bald man's heart skipped a beat. No matter which one here, it seems that it is difficult to deal with. Ahem, brother, if you have something to say, everyone is here to fool around. If you don't have enough money for equipment, just ask. Qin Mu stretched out one hand and raised the bald-headed sword to his throat. Bah! Bright red bursts out under the pressure. Gululu. The bald man looked at the sword with horror on his face, but he couldn't shout a single word out of his mouth, and his hands grabbed his throat in panic, as if he wanted to block the bright red jet. It was only then that a group of young men around them roared in fear, "It's a murderer!" Qin Mu controlled the sword with one hand. Rise. Phew. The broad-bladed sword made a burst of sound in the air. Follow closely. Heads one by one rose up outside the warehouse hall. All those who escaped were left alone. In front of Qin Mu, 3 or 4 timid people fell to their knees in fear. Master, spare your life. We are just following orders. Puff puff. The sound of swords crisscrossing the warehouse finally stopped. Except for a few people in front of Qin Mu, all the other Tianlu group personnel fell in a pool of blood. I ask, you answer. Qin Mu pondered and said. Are you members of Tianlu group? Yes. A few people hesitated for a moment, then nodded immediately. The Tianlu group controls this group of warrior apprentices. What are they going to do in the wild? Several people seemed hesitant again. Qin Mu frowned and pointed with his hand. The sword flew through the air, and the guy on the left was split open by Tianling Guy. The incision is as smooth as a laser. Someone saw the cross-section and couldn't help but vomited. Qin Mu said coldly, I won't ask a second time. Master, I really don't know this. The boss knows, but he. At this time, among the crowd behind them, Qian Wen suddenly stood up. I know, I eavesdropped on their conversation that day, and this guy was also there. According to them, they wanted to take us to the wild and then force us to seduce ferocious beasts. Group. The other young men responded. Yes, don't talk about us apprentices. Even if a warrior tries to seduce a group of ferocious beasts, it will be a dead end, right? As a result, we discussed and said we wanted to leave, but they tied up all of us and confiscated our smart devices. Click. Qin Mu felt a surge of energy and blood in his chest, and his fist made a crisp sound. Tianlu group. So this is where your ferocious beasts come from. The ferocious beasts are cunning, and traps are generally difficult to work, and the beasts will not be easily fooled. Only the military's large-scale formation can contain the ferocious beasts. The other forces do not have the strong cohesion of the military and can only organize teams to hunt and kill normally. Tianlu group uses apprentices as bait, so it will naturally not make the beasts suspicious. Once the apprentice leads the ferocious beast into a good ambush location, he can naturally attack and kill it easily. The actions of Tianlu group are no longer even counted as human beings. What shocked Qin Mu even more? How have they been able to function for so long? What about the warriors? Do the warriors from the Tianlu group know about this? And it's not just one or two. Most of the warriors in the Tianlu group probably know about this, but they have kept it a secret for so long and no one knows about it. Or, does anyone know but won't tell? Does the 10,000 Merchants Alliance know? Qin Mu really had a question mark in his heart. Well, Master, it's not my fault. The group has been doing this for so many years. The guy who spoke earlier quickly explained. And these apprentices are not destined to die. If they are lucky, they can live for a long time. There are also some who have made money and even become warriors. Qin Mu no longer wanted to hear it. He waved his hand and lifted up the iron sheet on the warehouse floor. Crunch. The iron sheet was instantly shaped into a large semicircular iron ball under the influence of Qin Mu's telekinesis. Then, there was a bang. The iron ball in turn dunked several people in. Bang bang bang. Several people inside were so frightened that they beat wildly. Qin Mu's eyes were cold and he slowly clenched his hands. The iron ball gradually shrinks, then shrinks again. Phew. The knocking sounds of several people disappeared with the squeezing. Between breaths, under the strong pressure of hundreds of thousands of kilograms of telekinesis, the iron ball squeezed into the size of a basketball. Such an astonishing scene left the warehouse completely silent. Qin Mu looked at everything in front of him, but the anger in his heart had not dissipated at all. Didi. Warehouse door. There was the rapid honking of vehicles. The people from Tianlu group are here. Qin Mu thought. The guy who contacted Lu Zhou just now was there to wrap up this matter. The smart devices of these guys on the ground have videos and various records. You can take them out and hand them over to the security team. Qin Mu said as he put away the bald smart device. Use telekinesis to dig out the battery immediately. Hackers from the 10,000 Shang Alliance. They are the culprits behind keeping the incident concealed for so long. If it were not possible to hack the cloud data, no matter what, such horrific things would not be hidden. After getting it done, Qin Mu flew out the same way and came to Linjiang Road. In front of you, a luxury car was honking its horn at the entrance of the warehouse. The next second, the car's sunroof was opened by an invisible hand. On the back seat, a middle-aged man wearing gold-rimmed glasses looked at Qin Mu in horror. Who are you? Snapped. Qin Mu said nothing and strangled the opponent's neck with one hand. With a casual mention, the two took off from the car. At the same time, the driver in front also noticed the situation and was about to take action. Boom. The entire car was instantly turned into a pancake by telekinesis, and the driver naturally merged into the car. In the dark night, inside an abandoned warehouse. Tianlu Group, how many more such strongholds do it have? Qin Mu suddenly spoke. The man looked stunned. What did you say? I don't know. Snort. Qin Mu sneered. He easily removed the rotten steel bars in the warehouse and wrapped the man's limbs in circles. My methods are not professional, and I don't carry any high-end drugs with me, so your time is probably very limited. Said. The steel bars immediately and slowly contracted inward, tightening. Ah! The man immediately roared in pain and his expression became extremely ferocious. You. Who the hell are you? Qin Mu said calmly. Don't waste your own time. The steel bars continued to tighten. The intense pain made the man almost faint. Hoo-hoo, ha, wait a minute, I say. The man gasped for air and begged for mercy. Qin Mu reached out for the other person's smart device, clicked on video recording, and focused the camera on the man. Tell me, let's start from the beginning. Qin Mu ordered in a hoarse voice. In which year did the Tianlu group start using apprentices as bait to lure ferocious beasts into traps? How many apprentices have died in the wild over the years? What did you say? I really don't know. When the man saw that the other party had turned on the video, he immediately panicked and denied it repeatedly. Qin Mu was not in a hurry. The man's identity information was added to the video. Tianlu Group, Logistics Division, Deputy Manager, Huang Yi. Huang Yi. Qin Mu pondered and followed. Your function is at best Lu Zhou's lackey. I will give you a free message. Lu Zhou is dead and I killed him. What? There was obvious disbelief in Huang Yi's eyes. The young master is protected by 2 masters of the 9th level of military generals. How could? Qin Mu asked teasingly. In front of the Grand Master, what does a 9th level general mean? Hiss. Huang Yi took a breath and suddenly fell into silence. You kill me. Qin Mu shook his head slightly. Does it make sense to you to defend Tianlu Group to death? You're just a bitch. If you die, your family will be taken care of. Even dogs don't believe this kind of nonsense, right? By the way, do you have a son? Qin Mu retrieved information and quickly retrieved the communication information of Huang Yi's family. Well, I have 2 sons. The eldest is 17 years old and is about to graduate. You died for Tianlu Group. And in order to keep it secret, how high do you think the probability is that Tianlu Group will drag your family into the wild and join the bait ranks? Plop. When Huang Yi heard this, his heart suddenly beat uncontrollably in fear. No. Impossible, Tianlu Group can't do this to me. Never. To the end, Huang Yi's own voice began to tremble. What is Tianlu Group? He is just a company. Can he compare to the Warriors Alliance? Can he compare to the Grand Master? Qin Mu's tone was not oppressive at all, very relaxed, as if he was just chatting. Lu Tian is your strongest support, right? Grandmaster 9th level. Yes, the 9th level Grandmaster is quite powerful, but compared with the commanding Grandmaster, it doesn't matter. Tianlu Group is dead, I said so. Suddenly, Huang Yi raised his head, his eyes no longer sparkling. You said that, can you keep me safe? Keep my whole family safe. Hee. Qin Mu chuckled coldly. Is the Grand Master very idle? Do you still have to protect your family? Tianlu Group will be destroyed soon. This is the best protection you can do for your family. Yes. A bleak smile appeared at the corner of Huang Yi's mouth. I really have no right to ask you to protect my family. Phew. Huang Yi took a deep breath. With your cultivation, how long will it take to destroy the Tianlu Group? Qin Mu didn't think much and said directly, it depends on how specific you are. If it's fast, except for Lu Tian, none of them will see the sun tomorrow. Very direct, very straightforward, but Huang Yixin believed it. Because the Grand Master has this strength. Huang Yi nodded heavily. Using apprentices as bait was about 7 or 8 years ago. I know it was being done at that time, but it was not on a large scale. After President Liu Heng passed away, the company was managed by Lu Tian, which was probably around that time. As far as I know, all company warriors who have been to the wild know about this matter. However, the company's high hush-hush fee means no one speaks out. As long as the person who dies is not myself, who is willing to say more. In addition to the warehouse just now, there are several other locations. Huang Yi opened his mouth and spoke intermittently. Tianlu Group. The source of income for starting a business is the beast resources. The various businesses developed later have nothing to do with beast resources. However, warriors belonging to the Tianlu Group are considered participants as long as they have been out of the city. They knew that, for whatever reason, they didn't tell. Not a single one. Qin Mu was surprised by this. After all these years, there must be at least 1 or 2 people who want to expose the matter, right? Huang Yi looked very funny. Yes, but it's all handled by the company. With the Grandmaster suppressing it, it will definitely be easy to deal with a few troubles. But the news on the internet is the most difficult to deal with. Hacker. Qin Mu knew about the hackers. Where is your hacker department? Huang Yi shook his head. Sorry, the hacker has a single point of contact with me. I don't know anything about what I send or what is handled over there. Qin Mu dug up the smart records and found that indeed there were only messages sent by Huang Yi to the hacker, but the other party did not reply a word. Besides, apart from Tianlu Group, are other groups doing this? Who in the Wanshang Alliance is doing the same thing as you? Lingwu Group is also in it, right? Poxing, Bei, Wanjianj, Zhongcheng Martial Arts School. Huang Yi frowned. Lingwu Group's turnover has not changed much, and its profits have not changed. They should not know that its momentum has declined in recent years. I don't know if there are any in the 10,000 Merchants Alliance, but those who have experienced a substantial increase in turnover may have. As for martial arts schools, most people probably don't know about it. It's cheap for them to acquire their own ferocious beast resources and the profits are good, unlike commercial companies. I don't know much about the cities outside. I just heard that there are many forces involved in York City. Qin Mu has no control over York City's affairs for the time being. Besides Lu Tian, do you have a Grand Master? Huang Yi nodded. There are 7 of them in total, Mr. Lu. Lu Tian issued an order a few days ago and took them all out of the city to perform tasks. Qin Mu finally confirmed the list of all personnel and locations. Turn around and leave. As for Huang Yi, of course he will stay in that warehouse forever. It is possible to atone for one's sins through merit, but no amount of merit can atone for his sins. Time, 1:30 at night. Distance to dawn. 4 hours left. Be quick. Qin Mu no longer covered up. I heard about the high-level meeting of the Zhongcheng Warriors Alliance that day and knew that Zhongcheng might not have many grandmasters now. Even if someone finds out, they can't stop him. Kill. If there is no reward for good and evil, there will be selfishness in everything. After checking one by one, Qin Mu did not have the time or power to support him. Leave it to the martial arts school. It is also irresponsible to all victims. The city gate will open tomorrow. When these people leave the city, as long as they go out, none of them can come back. And the information provided by Huang Yi is all confirmed. As for the fish that slipped through the net, it can naturally be handed over to the martial arts school for investigation at that time. Warehouse, Nanhua Road. Qin Mu grabbed a car and smashed the door into pieces. Everyone inside the door just screamed in surprise. The flying blade has already entered the warehouse. The cold light is everywhere. Puff puff puff. A group of group thugs were killed by flying blades in an instant. After releasing the trapped apprentice, Qin Mu immediately ran away. 1 hour later, Qin Mu solved the last peripheral stronghold. Zhongcheng has a population of hundreds of millions. Even with a shield to fly, it would take so long to make a circle. The 2 strongholds at the back have received the news and almost made them run away. Fortunately, it's midnight. Even if these guys move, they'll still be very eye-catching. In a blink of an eye, Qin Mu has already arrived at the headquarters of Tianlu Group. The 30-story headquarters building is accompanied by a martial arts center below that is comparable in size to the Zhongcheng Martial Arts Gym. Now, at the entrance of the headquarters, a large number of warriors woke up from their sleep, holding weapons and waiting at the door. Hundreds of people. Qin Mu looked from a distance and saw at least hundreds of warriors, all mixed together, making it extremely difficult to distinguish them. This is still the doorway. I don't know how many there will be later. Qin Mu waved his hand in midair and threw out a smart device. Under the night sky, the projection expands. My name is Huang Yi. Tianlu Group has used peripheral organizations to recruit apprentices for many years. After taking them to the wild, they use them as bait to lure vicious beasts into traps. Over the years, I know about more than 200,000 apprentices who have died tragically in the wild. At this time, Qin Mu flew with his shield and came to the top of Tianlu headquarters. You saw the video. Lu Zhou, Lu Tian, I have killed them. I'm here today to do one thing, and that is to clean up the remaining evil in Tianlu. I have the list in hand. The warriors who are not involved should leave immediately, otherwise they will be killed without mercy. Grandmaster Lu is dead. How can it be? At the gate of Tianlu Group, the warriors all showed shocked expressions. Don't listen to his nonsense. I just contacted Grandmaster Lu, he is performing a secret mission in the wild. Among them, a middle-aged warrior, wearing an A-level combat uniform, stood up to stabilize everyone and at the same time shouted at Qin Mu. I don't care who you are. You are now using force without authorization and killing people indiscriminately in Zhongcheng. You have violated the warrior regulations. What awaits you is definitely a dead end. Qin Mu was in the air and smiled coldly. Click on Smart to call up the other party's information. Yan Long, 9th level military general, captain of the 3rd hunting team, went out of the city to perform missions 127 times. 100. 7 times. Chin Mu's eyes flashed with light, and he gritted his teeth and said, "How many martial apprentices in Zhongcheng died in your hands?" Yan Long was not afraid at all and said with disdain, "Ridiculous. You don't even look at the place when you're cheating. That person just now is not from the Tianlu group at all. The so-called use of apprentices to seduce ferocious beasts is even more nonsense and ridiculous. I am a 9th level, dignified military general. Do I still need the help of those untouchables to hunt down ferocious beasts? Not all of the Tianlu Group Warrior Center has left the city. Many staff, including low-level warriors, are not aware of the situation." At this moment, watching the two people confront each other, I felt confused. The other side, the captain of the security team arrived in a hurry. "Listen, Master ahead, you have violated the warrior regulations, come down immediately and be investigated." Ha 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 ha. Chin Mu's hoarse voice burst into bursts of laughter. Untouchable, ha. Chin Mu finally understood why this group of people could be so inhumane. The so-called untouchable, what are you? Are you a natural warrior? Have you been trained as a warrior since you were born? Tisk tisk. How dare a little 9th level military general think that he is noble? He has even forgotten his own origin. Even his family members must be classified as untouchables. Even the 8th generation of his ancestors must be classified as untouchables. Okay, you are truly a noble warrior who is worthy of heaven and earth and serves the country and the people. Yan Long's face suddenly turned livid. Damn. Even if you are the Grand Master, you must not insult a warrior. Speaking of which, Yan Long's eyes suddenly flashed. No, who are you? The city lord has just issued an order that all masters must leave the city to perform tasks. Why don't you go? Yan Long was suddenly enlightened and quickly shouted to many warriors. As the Grand Master, you don't even care about the most basic responsibilities of a warrior. Not only that, you actually want to accuse us of unfounded charges and massacre us warriors while the Grand Master is away. Traitor, beast, you are not worthy of being a warrior at all. The 9th level general raised his arms and shouted loudly. The sound was like a vibrating bell, and could be heard clearly within a radius of 3 centimeters. City Lord's order. Grand Master will leave the city immediately to perform a mission. No wonder. Grand Master classes in martial arts schools, the military, and everywhere have been suspended these days. They must have left the city a long time ago, right? It's probably because of the ferocious beast outside the city. Well, that makes sense. Damn it. The ferocious beasts are moving outside the city. Instead of helping, the Grand Master ignores the warrior regulations and attacks and kills the Tianlu group. Such behavior is simply disgusting. When the security captain heard this, he felt even more confident. Listen, Master above, you have been surrounded. The Warriors Alliance law enforcement team will be here soon. If you are stubborn, the security team will immediately contact the Master outside the city and bring you to justice. You can't run away, so just capture him. Chin Mu looked at the security captain. Retrieve the video data in your hand. Wong Kong, 1st level military commander, bribe credits, beast resources, various equipment, strengthening liquid, a total of 32 million credits. Aha, a long row of bills was immediately listed in the projection. Huang Yi is Lu Zhou's follower. He deals with this kind of thing every day in the company. He basically handles all kinds of joints. When Wong Kong saw this, his face suddenly turned red. Fake. Everything is fake. You forged evidence. This captain will sue you for defamation. Hehe. Chin Mu casually clicked on the video below. In the screen, in a super luxurious private room, Wong Kong and several others were drinking and discussing ergonomic principles with a group of beauties. The projection magnifies in the air, almost tens of meters wide. The entire Tianlu group gate and even the entire street can be seen clearly. Chin Mu clicked on another video again. Same private room. The same beauty. It's just that another protagonist has been replaced. It is Yan Long who just kept speaking righteously. Manager Huang, the output of our team has been too low recently. The quality of those apprentices is not good and they die too quickly. It has only been 2 weeks and there are not many left that can be used. How to say, when will we get another batch here? Boom. The whole place immediately exploded. Captain Yan, you actually used your apprentice as bait. Tianlu Group actually relies on human lives to accumulate the output of ferocious beasts. Asshole. Tianlu Group is worse than a pig or a dog. The situation reversed instantly, and Yanlong was stunned. How could he think of it? Huang Yi, the person close to Mr. Liu of Tianlu Group, would actually betray the entire group. No, that video is fabricated, synthesized. I have never said that kind of thing, and I have never been to the Fairyland Warrior Club. Yanlong hurriedly denied it. Once this kind of thing comes out, you will almost die. Even the warrior regulations may not give you a chance to make meritorious deeds. Fairyland Warriors Club. It seems like you are very familiar with the private room environment over there. Qin Mu asked coldly. Everyone, listen, I have all the lists. There are no warriors who have been out of the city, and there are no staff involved, including the security team. I'll give you 30 seconds, give them all to me. Go away. There was a loud shout. Ring throughout the audience. Dozens of warriors from the security team watched the video and turned around and left without thinking. As for Tianlu Group, a large number of people rushed out. Yanlong was anxious, his angry eyes filled with bloodshot eyes. Don't be afraid, everyone, as a commanding grandmaster, there is absolutely no way he can do anything to us. As long as the group master comes back, he will definitely give us justice. Qin Mu's eyes were cold as he stared at the entire audience. A chubby figure was trying to escape among the crowd. Captain Wang, you still have something to explain. While talking, Qin Mu held the air with one hand. Click, the iron sheet of the street patrol car tore off in an instant, and with a snap, Wang Kong was wrapped in it. Qin Mu mentioned it casually. Wang Kong then flew into the sky like a rocket. Follow closely. Backhand shot. The iron rocket fell down the same path. Boom. Wang Kong was thrown into the asphalt road with the iron sheet surrounding him, and only his head was exposed. Puff. Bright red bursts out from Wang Kang's pores, turning into blood mist and floating in the air. At this time, a roar came from the Tianlu Group building. Boom. A pulse ion wave hit Qin Mu directly. Blue ion pulses exploded in the sky, like a brilliant ion firework under the night sky. Good. When Yanlong saw Qin Mu being attacked, he was immediately overjoyed. But the next second, the ion fireworks dissipated, revealing only pieces of metal iron walls with flashing black and blue lines. S-class shield. There's more than one. Yanlong's whole body trembled. Those pieces of S-class shields are like super alloy fortresses, indestructible. Despair. Even the urgently mobilized ion cannon couldn't take down this master. Brothers, it's time to fight. If we don't kill this bastard today, we will all die. Yanlong shouted loudly and drew his sword to attack. It's not him who dies, it's me who dies. There is no second way. All the warriors know the crime of killing a large number of warrior apprentices. Because it is clear, as long as you don't say it the first time and you acquiesce in the benefits, there will be no chance to say it in the future. Felony. Capital offense. Such a crime was announced by Qin Mu on the spot, and all the participants were even listed. Can he still get away with it? Unless Qin Mu is killed, no one can escape. Kill. Dozens of warriors from the Tianlu Group drew their weapons and shouted in unison. Court death. Qin Mu stretched out his hand to push aside the shield, letting it float beside him, and looked coldly at the warrior who rushed out. Both palms were concentrated on the waist, and he suddenly pushed forward. Boom. Dozens of cars on the street all collapsed and flew towards the warrior. The 9th level of ruler. A thought can weigh 90,000 kilograms. How much does a car weigh? Even if today's cars are all enhanced defense versions, they still weigh at most 7,000 to 8,000 kilograms. Bang bang bang. Among the dozens of warriors, some drew their swords and struck, while others had no time to react. But the car is huge after all. Even if it is split open with a knife, there are many people and cars around it, and it is difficult to move, dodge, and push. Under the crowds, the scene immediately becomes chaotic. Maid, who the hell is bumping into me? Go away, you are blocking me from drawing the sword. This is when Qin Mu cupped his hands in midair. Crunch. Dozens of cars were squeezed into balls by powerful telekinesis, and then rolled into balls, getting smaller and smaller. Many warriors from the Tianlu Group also got a chance to breathe. At first glance, In fact, not many warriors were seriously injured. Only some low-level warriors may have serious injuries. If they were generals and above, and protected by combat uniforms, they would not even be able to scratch their skin. Ah, that's it. The warriors all showed mocking expressions. Captain Yan, you were right, this guy is not a master of command at all. The person who was bluffing looked really good, but the result was that he was really good at it. Ha ha ha. Brothers, come on, kill him and leave the city immediately. There is no Grand Master in the city now. As long as we go to the wild, the world is not ours yet. Go, go, go. ... Seeing this, Chin Mu raised the corners of his mouth slightly, and the rounded palms on his chest suddenly turned into claws, and he tore hard from left to right. Give it to me. Fry. Bang. A huge explosion shook the field. The iron ball made from the car turned into metal fragments in the explosion and shot out in all directions. Dozens of cars are just dozens of iron balls. Countless alloy fragments shot through the crowd at a speed exceeding that of a sniper bullet. Each warrior has at least hundreds of fragments inserted into his body. From head to toe, every inch of the body exposed to the air could not escape the bombardment of debris. Combat suits above level B can prevent most fragments, but they cannot stop the tearing of small fragments. As long as the skin is exposed, it will be torn apart by all the fragments. If the combat suit exceeds a level, as long as it is completely wrapped, it will only suffer impact. But this is an impact, and the amount is too large for ordinary generals to withstand. One blow weighs tens of thousands of kilograms. Hundreds of bombardments or millions of attacks. In addition to being a Grand Master, one must be a 9th-level general with an S-level combat uniform to resist. As for the combat uniforms, they are not even B-level. At this moment, it is estimated that only the fragments in the field can be put together to piece together a complete body. Zhongcheng now has no master. The highest level of cultivation here is only the 9th level of military commander. One move. Kill them all. Hiss. On the street outside, the warriors who had just escaped and the staff watching all took a deep breath. The Grand Master. How can he be so terrifying? Dozens of warriors. You can't even withstand a single move. Crush. It's just chopping melons and vegetables. Master of command, mighty. ... Opposite. Yanlong did not appear among the group of warriors who were killed. He was the one who screamed the loudest just now, but when he started to rush, he was the one who ran the fastest. At this moment, there were dozens of fragments in his body, and the huge force knocked him to the ground. When he got up he looked back. Door. It is already a purgatory on earth. Yanlong's lips just trembled. The next second, the green flame flying sword was already dragging a black trail to the front. Puff. The flying sword dexterously penetrated the breathing hole of Yanlong's helmet, inserted straight into his head, and leapt vertically and horizontally. A second later, Feijian returned the same way. The whole process was stress-free and there was no sense of sluggishness at all. It's as if an embroidery needle is flying up and down in the silk, easily and freely. Yanlong, die. Chin Mu lowered his body, dived, whipped up a whirlwind and rushed straight into the headquarters of Tianlu Group. Since they want to be killed, no one can be left alive. Kanglanglang. Behind Chin Mu, dozens of swords flew into the air like a sword formation, following behind him. There are also a large number of warriors in the Tianlu Group. Chin Mu clicked on the smart scan and searched for anything that appeared on the list. Several swords flew out from the sword array behind him, cutting them into pieces on the spot. If he were a 9th-level general like Yanlong, he would have good equipment. As soon as the green flame flying sword comes out, it still kills instantly. In the entire Tianlu Group, no one can stop Chin Mu for a moment. Outside the city, when Lu Tian received the news, he gritted his teeth in hatred. Despicable person. How dare you bully me and no one in the world? Boom. Lu Tian exploded on the spot and disappeared from his defense line. After a while, City Lord Zhang Hong, Po Xing Lin Zhang, Overlord Zhao Chengfang, Wan Zhanbai Qingyan, and everyone rushed there. Damn it, why did you let this beast escape? Lin Zhang yelled and cursed. The other Tianlu Grand Masters may still be there, let's split up and chase him. City Lord Zhang Hong stretched out his hand to stop him. Wait a minute, now is not the time to move around, the defense line is more important. Don't chase, Lin Zhong roared angrily. Are we just going to let those beasts from Tianlu go? Zhang Hong looked sternly. It's not about letting go, it's about not messing up. Brother Lin, you and Bai Qingyan form a team to chase Lu Tian. I will arrange for people to keep an eye on the other Tianlu grandmasters. Good. Lin Zhong and Bai Qingyan set off directly without saying a word. Zhongcheng, the headquarters of Tianlu Group. Qin Mu swept across the hall on the first floor. The entire Tianlu Warrior Center was completely emptied. Now, Qin Mu stood in front of a metal door made entirely of S-grade alloy. Tianlu Group's warehouse. Green flame flying sword. Cut. Qin Mu commanded the flying sword and slashed out with all his strength. When the door made a metallic squeak, leaving a deep gap on the door. Immediately afterwards, the beeping siren sounded loudly. Around the walls, various weapons were pulled out from the hidden compartments and aimed at Qin Mu in a burst of bombardment. Depend on. Qin Mu cursed secretly, drew out his shield to block, and retreated at the same time. At 4 o'clock in the morning, the sky is getting brighter. Qin Mu glanced at the warehouse. It would be a pity if he ignored it. The power of thought extends inwards along the alloy. Holy shit, the whole body is made of S-grade alloy. So damn rich. Qin Mu didn't have time to wait much longer. The flying sword could break through the S-class alloy, but it would take at least several hours to break through the hole enough for people to get in. Looking for someone to unlock the door. Now that everyone has been killed, where can they be found? Withdraw. Qin Mu is not a greedy person. But just turned around. Qin Mu stopped. It's made entirely of alloy. It's about 30 meters long and wide. How much does it weigh? 1 million kilograms, is there any chance to pick it up? Try it. Qin Mu pushed out with both palms, and dozens of swords were blasted into the wall. There was just cement and ordinary steel bars there, which couldn't stop the sword from slashing at all. But it's really not fast. Aha! Qin Mu used his backhand to summon the S-class flying blade. Go! The progress of the project, which was slow just now, immediately became rapid. The S-class flying blade may be very slow when cutting S-class alloy, but everything else is just a piece of paper. In a few breaths, all the buildings around the entire alloy warehouse were crushed to pieces. Qin Mu concentrated his mind and wrapped the entire alloy warehouse. Get up! Rumble. The alloy warehouse trembled violently underground, and then it slowly lifted up. Qin Mu was overjoyed and immediately took to the air. He held the entire 30 alloy warehouse with his mind and slowly lifted into the air. At this time, dozens of drones gathered in the sky. Oops, it took too long to clean up the Tianlu group. Now it's a bit unrealistic to drag such a big thing and still want to take off. Qin Mu frowned slightly and waved the sword formation with his backhand. The sword light turned into a sheet of snow under the light of the drone, and then dozens of drones burst into flames in the air and exploded into pieces. Can't walk to the sky. Qin Mu looked at the sword formation and his eyes suddenly flashed. Then go underground. Turn around and land. The exposed underground of the alloy warehouse is made of poured cement and steel bars. Ha! 5 S-class flying blades flew out from behind. Follow closely. An array of 20 S-grade alloy shields is behind the flying blade. In a blink, a super combination drill bit with a diameter of more than 30 meters appeared in front of him. The S-class flying blade has a drill tip, while the S-class shield is not sharp, but it is solid and has an expanded area of more than 3 or 4 square meters, enough to serve as a blade. Spin. Qin Mu spun in the air with one palm. Whoosh, whoosh. The combination drill bit rotates in the air, faster and faster. Ha ha ha, let's go. Qin Mu controlled the drill bit with one hand and blasted it into the ground. The blade is cutting hard, and the blade is flying sand and gravel. Between breaths, the drill bit blasted away dozens of meters of cement foundation underneath, then broke through the soil and continued to drill down. Qin Mu dragged the warehouse into the underground passage and came back. Pull hard with both hands. Boom. The Tianlu Warrior Center collapsed instantly under the drag of hundreds of thousands of kilograms of telepathy. Qin Mu was not satisfied with destroying the Warrior Center, so he used a sword formation to destroy the passage. Well, this way, there won't be any traces. Qin Mu was just doing primary insurance. Actually, dragging a warehouse with a diameter of 30 meters into the ground, who else can enter the ground except the real master? Even if Lu Tian knew it, he wouldn't be able to take it. Wanjianj, Bai Qingyan is possible. Just guard her. Qin Mu started working underground, and the sand and gravel rolled up from the front were filled directly in the back, blocking it tightly. Minus 100 meters. Minus 300 meters. Minus 700 meters. Minus 1,500 meters. ... Is it almost done? It only took Qin Mu more than 30 minutes to move the warehouse 1,000 meters underground. It took a few more minutes to traverse to a rock layer, and then used my mind to squeeze out an open space underground for storage of warehouses. Finally, the surrounding environment is restored, and some fake routes are also made in the passage. Ha! Qin Mu clapped his hands and looked at the pure alloy warehouse in front of him. It's not easy for such a big guy. But I've made a lot of money this time. Ha! Even if there is nothing inside, this warehouse made of S-grade alloy alone will cost at least tens of billions, right? Qin Mu checked it. This warehouse is really not rich enough to be made of S-grade alloy. Instead, composite alloys are used. The outer layer is made of S-grade half a finger thick, the middle is A-grade, and then a layer of S-grade is reinforced, and the rest is all A-grade. It is true that Tianlu Group is wealthy. But no matter how rich you are, you wouldn't dare to use dozens of tons of S-grade alloy to build a warehouse, right? The current S-grade alloy here can definitely be used to make hundreds or thousands of pieces if used to make a shield. If it is an A-grade shield or sword, the materials will be even more. It's not early, let's go back and check the situation first. Qin Mu is not in a hurry to open this warehouse. It would take too long to break open, and if things get too big, the masters will definitely come back. It's easy to explain the destruction of Tianlu headquarters, but if you want to keep this warehouse, it's best not to expose it. Or use a drill to open the way. This time it doesn't need to be 30 meters in diameter, so it's faster. Outside the city, Bai Qingyan fell to the ground with a cold face and frowned. That Lu Tian is really cunning. He has been going around in circles here for a few times. The final direction cannot be determined. At present, it seems that he may be escaping to the south. Lin Zhong fell into deep thought and shook his head slightly after a moment. Not too possible. That guy Lu Tian looks like he's running rampant, but in fact the city is very deep. Being able to do such outrageous things proves his extreme greed. Do you think such a person would give up the wealth he has accumulated for decades? Bai Qingyan suddenly realized. It's still too late, let's go to Tianlu Group now. The two set off again. This time, it broke out at full speed, no need to go around corners, and went straight to Zhongcheng. Tianlu Group. A black shadow ran wildly through the ruins. Impossible, the warehouse is obviously right here. How come there isn't? Boom. Lu Tian blasted away a large amount of rubble with one punch, his eyes filled with bloodshot eyes. Who can move the entire superalloy warehouse I built? Ha ha ha, Lu Tian, you are indeed here. Lin Zhong roared for a while, his voice coming from far to near, waiting for the last word to fall. Lin Zhong's figure already appeared behind Lu Tian. Bai Qingyan took a step slower, appeared immediately after, and scolded in a cold voice. Lu Tian, you have done so many evil things, why don't you just get caught without hesitation? Just surrender. Lu Tian's red eyes slowly turned around, filled with endless hatred. Lin Zhong, Bai Qingyan, Zhang Hong, and the Qin Mu. You have been coveting the wealth of my Tianlu Group for a long time, right? Bai Qingyan couldn't help but sneer. What kind of wealth does the small Tianlu Group have? Above the Dragon Star, except for the Broken Star Martial Arts School, who can surpass me, Wanjianj Pavilion, in wealth. The speed and efficiency with which a mind master can kill ferocious beasts is far beyond that of a warrior. There is also the White Sword Sect, who can earn more credits just by monopolizing the mind master technique than ordinary people can imagine. Quia, they are all quibbling. Lu Tian punched the ruins next to him. At this moment, he looked like a madman. If he didn't covet my Tianlu's wealth, why could he move the alloy warehouse weighing hundreds of tons in just a few hours? If you didn't have a hidden master in Wanjiang Pavilion, who could destroy the decades-old foundation of our Tianlu Group overnight. Lin Zhong looked at the opposite side with cold eyes. Madman, whatever you say now will not escape the sanctions of the warrior code. Even if you instruct hackers to delete all the evidence, it will never erase the fact that you have tortured warrior apprentices for decades. Phew, a trace of self-blame flashed in Lin Zhong's eyes. In the past 10 years, Zhongcheng's martial arts talents have gradually withered, and the growth of the total number of warriors has gradually decreased, but the reason has not yet been found. The result is you. It was you who completely dug up the foundation of Zhongcheng warriors. A warrior is not born out of thin air. Which warrior is not promoted from an apprentice? There are so many apprentices dead and missing, but they are not even shown in the data. You must have an accomplice. Hatred. Lin Zhong roared angrily. Say. Who else in Zhongcheng is colluding with you? Lu Tian's expression became more ferocious. You are using your power to suppress others and want to destroy our Tianlu group. Do you really think that I don't know anything? That Qin Mu is obviously the chess piece you prepared. The 9th level dragon nest only makes it easier for you to transfer yourself away from Zhongcheng Grandmaster. Lu Tian gritted his teeth, his eyes protruded, and his eyes gradually became hysterical. You are cruel enough. But it would be too naive to think that our Tianlu group is just a clay figure that can be manipulated by others. Speaking of which, Lu Tian clicked on the smartphone on his arm. The projection is released. Dragon's Lair. Bai Qingyan didn't know what Lu Tian wanted to do when he released the structural diagram of the dragon's nest, but the 3 red dots surrounding the dragon's nest in the picture were particularly clear. Oh, can't you see clearly? Lu Tian looked provocative. I'll zoom in a little bit for you. Follow. 3 red dots show the callout. CTNB-2.7-1. Super Tactical Nuke. 270 million tons equivalent level, the latest tactical model of the Federal Ministry of Scientific Research. Lin Zhong recognized the label at a glance. What does this kind of thing want to do when Lu Tian ambushes it near the dragon's nest? Hiss. Lin Zhong's heart was beating wildly, and blood all over his body suddenly surged. Boom. The Grand Master's cultivation completely exploded, and all the debris within dozens of meters around him were blasted away by the aura. You bastard! Are you crazy? Lin Zhong shouted angrily, resounding throughout the sky. Jiahiaji. A creepy laughter came from Lu Tian's throat. You are so unkind. Do you still expect me to sit back and wait for death? With 3 nuclear bombs, it's impossible to destroy the dragon's nest, but it can certainly anger the dragon's nest. If you are confident, kill me here. Otherwise. Lu Tian glanced at the 2 of them with crazy eyes. Otherwise, just return the warehouse to me obediently and then watch me leave the city. When Bai Qingyan heard this, he was so angry that he wished he could kill Lu Tian on the spot. But Lin Zhong didn't move, and she didn't dare to move rashly, looking at Lin Zhong from the corner of her eye. No, Lin Zhong's eyes clearly didn't want to take this risk. Ah, Lu Tian looked at the 2 of them wildly. Zhong is still too old to know that I am a life-related system, which contains a quantum communication core built at a high price. Even if you block all signals, as long as something happens to me, these 3 nuclear bombs will still explode. It exploded with a loud sound. Lin Zhong narrowed his eyes slightly and said in deep thought, dehumanization. Apart from these 3 nuclear bombs, what else have you done? Then you have to take a guess. I can transport nuclear bombs out of the city. Do I still have the remaining ability to put 2 more in Zhongcheng? Lu Tian didn't care at all about the Grand Master in front of him, let alone the other Grand Masters. The strongest Mind Master in the world. You. Bai Qingyan was extremely angry, and the 12 flying swords around him trembled in the air and made bursts of sounds. Lin Zhong's eyes were slightly closed, as if he was considering whether it was possible to capture Lu Tian safely. No, the core of quantum communication cannot shield the signal, which is a common death. Dragon Nest is currently just confronting the Grand Master and has not yet broken out. If it explodes at this time and the 9th level Ferocious Dragon or even the super level Ferocious Dragon rushes in at all costs, Zhongcheng will definitely suffer heavy losses. For a scumbag and a scum, tens of millions of lives in Zhongcheng were put on the line. Not worth it. You can leave, but you need to leave Zhongcheng for more than 500 kilometers under the supervision of the 2 of us. This is my bottom line. Lin Zhong spoke. Impossible. Where is my warehouse? Lu Tian was not satisfied after receiving the guarantee. You don't know where your own warehouse is, who can? Bai Qingyan glared coldly. Lin Zhong's eyes flashed with light. Lu Tian, the conditions I gave you are the final answer. If you continue to pester me, I will kill you on the spot even if I have to sacrifice my blood today. Lu Tian was silent for a moment and glanced at the two of them for a long time. Okay, you have indeed been planning for a long time to kill my Lu family's children, destroy my Lu family group, and seize my Lu family's wealth. We'll see. I will definitely settle this account with you. I will definitely. Zhongcheng Martial Arts School. Qin Mu changed his equipment and swaggered back to the training room. Along the way, they are all warriors discussing the Tianlu group incident. The Grand Master swept across the Tianlu group and went on a killing spree. Tianlu group has been deceiving warrior apprentices all year round, exchanging human lives for the production of ferocious beasts. What's the situation? Where did the news come from? Really, there are too many videos, and the commanding Grand Master is really ruthless. He destroyed the entire warrior center by himself. Hiss, who is the commanding Grand Master, Bai Qingyan? Or the Thunder Blade Grand Master of Wanjian Pavilion? I don't know, I can't tell from the video, but he should be an old master, maybe from Wanjiang Pavilion. Definitely, the Tianlu group is simply a beast per capita. They dare to harm their compatriots for money. This time, the Warrior Alliance must be the one to eliminate the cancer. Qin Mu just listened to these and didn't care. The cancer of Tianlu group can be removed at best by half at the moment. The other half depends on the Warriors Alliance. There are also a large number of Tianlu group's hunting teams in the wild. Their core strength, Lu Tian, as well as several grandmasters, are still alive. If these forces are not eliminated, it will ultimately be a disaster for Zhongcheng. Qin Mu took a comfortable bath in the training room, then lay down on the bed and fell asleep. Noon. The doorbell of the training room kept ringing. Qin Mu stood up and took a look. Ling Qinzu. What are you doing here? Ling Qinzu didn't reply and stared at Qin Mu carefully for several times. That look, it was as if he was meeting Qin Mu for the first time. Qin Mu, Ling Qinzu said solemnly. Tell me the truth, yesterday. What happened yesterday? Qin Mu asked calmly. This, Ling Qinzu looked like you were asking questions knowingly, and crossed her arms angrily. Pack, just pretend. Ling Qinzu turned back proudly, and her high ponytail was thrown in an arc in the air. You know, I still have to pay the balance here. What's the final payment? Qin Mu now has the entire warehouse in hand, so why would he have a showdown with her just to get the balance? You don't want the final payment. This is not like your style. Ling Qinzu turned around in surprise. Oh, I understand. The warehouse of Tianlu group is lost, it's really snapped. Qin Mu covered the girl's mouth with his palm. Are you crazy? Woohoo. Ling Qinzu did not struggle, but winked at Qin Mu. Be quiet. Qin Mu really couldn't hide this from the school beauty. The equipment was provided by her. She certainly didn't have any conclusive evidence, but it seemed impossible to deceive her. More importantly, there are so many alloys in the warehouse. Qin Mu can't just chew them up and then swallow them. When the time comes, he still has to go to Ling Qinzu to sell the stolen goods. After looking at her eyes for confirmation, only then did Qin Mu let go of his hand. Ling Qinzu raised the tip of her naughty nose angrily. HMPH, I knew it. You must have secretly taken refuge in Wanjianj. On the surface, you are commanding the master against the enemy, and then you are reaping the benefits from behind, and you want to take it all for yourself. Well, you are indeed the same Qin Mu I know. Damn it. What is your brain circuit? Qin Mu was stunned when he heard this. Ling Qinzu ignored it and said directly, speaking of which, that batch of goods is very difficult to get rid of in a short time, and the price will not be very high. Seeing that Ling Qinzu was still a money addict, Qin Mu felt relieved. At this time, Guo Yue suddenly sent a message. The leader has an order. The martial arts conference will start in 3 days, and the competition format will be changed. The 10 places for the domination trial will all be determined by the martial arts conference. You should be mentally prepared. If you can't do it, don't take it this time. Thanks for watching, please like and subscribe.